Hi, I am Mita Naya and today is Friday and the date is 8 October and I will tell about zoo means what is the advantage and what is the disadvantage of zoo, how the animal can stay in there and how everybody can go means how I enjoy to go there about these things and I'm starting now. This zoo this zoo is really very safe place for all animals, especially those animals are getting extinct day by day. They are getting a new shelter in this zoo, and this zoo is really very safe place for every animal, for every species, for every birds, and there is lots of people who there is lots of people who take care of these animals, and there is also some medications for all animals. If any animal falls sick any chance, by any chance, then they get proper medicine, they get proper care in this zoo, and they can they can stay safely in this zoo. They cannot go outside. They cannot go outside as they wish, but still they can stay safe. They don't have any fearness of hunting. They and anybody cannot harm them. In this zoo there is lots of restriction. If anybody go to the zoo, then they have to maintain the all restrictions, all rules. In the zoo there is lots of rule, lots of restriction. This area is really very big, and there is lots of animals: tiger, elephant, deer, crocodile, snake, different types of birds. And there is a place, there is some place where they reserve some flower trees, fruit trees, means the and this place is really very beautiful, means there are lots of arrangement for every animal, and there also is some small pond in every cage, of elephant cage, then deer cage, means they supply water to them, and everybody need water for surviving. And they can stay in a proper and they can also stay in a confinement, and they are in a circle, they are in a border, but there everybody has their own cage, and the cage is really very big. And most of the people go to the zoo and enjoy this travel, and especially kids child enjoy it. They can see lots of animal in front of them, and it's really very helpful for their study also. They can know which they can know all animals. Otherwise they read about all animals in the book, but they need to see all animals in front of them, means it's really very helpful for child also. Sometimes some people go to the zoo for getting picnic, short picnic from school. Some students, teachers also go there, and I also I went for lots of time to the zoo with my family members, with my parents, aunt, uncle, everyone. And I also enjoy it a lot, means and I can see lots of animals there, and they also, maybe they also enjoy it. They also feel very happy to see everyone. um, but I'm told that there are some rules and regulations, and if I want to give any food to any animal, then I cannot give it. Means they don't allow anyone to give any food to any animal, or they don't allow. Means you can just see. You cannot do anything with this animal. We cannot give any food. We cannot touch. You cannot touch. Um, there are lots of rules, and the area is really very big. When I went to the zoo, then I and there are also map. You can see the map and go the cage of tiger cage, elephant cage, then deer cage. But the area is so long, so big, so that's why sometime everybody got confused that where they will go. Means sometime they cannot find, if and it always sometime happened with us also. Suppose we are wanting to go to the tiger cage, then we saw the map, but we could not understand that which way we will go. Means which way we should go. Means sometime everybody got confused. The area is really very big, and there are also some place where you can sit, where you can take lunch. And I told that some people also go there for picnic, for doing picnic. And this place is really very well placed for everyone. And the animal, they can stay very well, happily. Yes, they cannot go outside, they cannot wander around freely, but they don't have they don't need to find food for themselves. Maybe and they don't have any fairness for getting die. And I also heard it that they got without any sickness, they got medicines. Means every week or every month they had doctors. There are also some doctor, animal doctor, who check up the animals, all animals, every week or every month. And they also give some medicines with food. They give some medicines with food, and they can survive for a long time. And they don't need to take any tension. They don't need to get any pressure of getting food, etc. And there also there are some places where the area, some for some animal, the area is really very big. Means they are a border, like a room, like a two room. Means the area is big, so they are big space for wandering everywhere. Means they have their own cage where they can sleep, for sleep. But otherwise for wandering, get enough space. There they can wander every time, for getting food and for taking nap, for taking sleep. They go to the cage. Otherwise they can stay outside, but it's surrounded by wall, a net. So this zoo is really very helpful. It's really very safe place for all animals. And if and nowadays everybody is cutting trees, and everybody is building their house in every places. And that's why some animals is getting extinct. They cannot stay properly, and they are not getting food in proper time. Means so that's why they cannot survive properly if they stay in the forest. So that's why this zoo is really very good place, well placed for every animal. They can stay, means they can survive for long time. And they will become and they will not extinct day by day. And if any animals stay in the forest, then they can wander everywhere as their wish. They can go everywhere as their wish, means they don't need to stay in a border, in a restrict area, or they don't need to stay one place. They can wander anywhere, means everywhere. Otherwise, they, if any animal stay in the forest, then they have the fearness of getting die, or they have to find food, for taking, for eating, sorry, for eating. And sometime, when they don't get any food in the forest, sometime they come out in the village. They come out in the village and they destroy the land of paddle land, means different land. And sometime they also harm some people. Then they got really then they get very desperate. So when they don't get any food in the forest, and these things sometimes happen also. I heard lots of news in TV, on TV, that especially it's happened in for the to the animal, means I heard some news on the TV that some animals came out in the village and they destroyed the paddy land, and they harmed some people, etc. Some news I sometime I heard on the TV. But they come out in the village because they don't get food in the forest, so that's why they have to come. And the an elephant like to stay in a group. They don't go anywhere alone. They don't want to go anywhere alone. And they, when they go to any village, then they go to the village in a group. And when they create a group, then anybody cannot any people cannot stay in front of them. It's there, when they get desperate, then they can destroy everything. So that's why it's some people, means some villagers, um, some villagers face these problems sometime. And these things always happen, that the elephant come out in the village in every night, at every night. Yes, I also heard this news. I watched it on the TV, that some elephants, come out in the village at night for getting food, for having some food. But they don't destroy anything. They don't harm anyone. They just come out and find some food, and when they get any food, then they eat, and then after that they go to in their own territory, in the forest. And but anybody is but any people want to harm them, or any people want to capture them, then they will harm everyone. Then they will not stay silently. Some villagers, in some villagers got habituated in it. They could see animals at night. And sometime, and they got habituated, and they always can see the animals at night. And for this animal at night, means there is some place, there is some village where some villagers cannot go outside at night for animal, means by any chance any animal come out from the forest in the village, then they can harm, means there and when they stay hungry, then they get desperate also, means they want food. If anybody, and people some people don't want to, some people give food by themselves, automatically. But some people don't want to give food to them. When they don't want to give this food to them, then they get desperate. So these things always happen. So, and sometime people does some bad work with these animals. So when they got very when any people means when some people got or when any villagers got really very irritated or got very disturbed for this animal, then they gets a trap for these animals, means for, or they does some work for killing all killing animals. And and people should not do it, because they come out in the village for having some food. They don't come to harm any people. So when any villagers in some village, and these incident sometime happen also. I heard some news on TV that some villagers got some trap and some villagers kill some animals. Means they get some trap, they fall some, they has some trap for animals, means, and they wait when the all animals come, and they will kill them. And those animal can escape, they can escape, but otherwise those animal, two or two animal cannot escape. Then they kill them. Means it's really very suffering, and it's really very bad work. And some animal lost it their life for having some food, means for finding some food. And sometimes there is some dishonest person who mix some poison with food and give it to the animal. And then the animal, this animal don't know that what is in this food, means they are innocent. Animals are innocent. If you harm them, then they will harm you, otherwise they will not do anything with you. So that's why, when anybody mix poison with food, then if this food give the any animal, then they will eat it with happy mind, but they know it that it's a trap. So these traps, sometimes these types of trap get have some people. And when animal eat this food, and they get die. And and according to me, it's not right. Because they were not getting food in the forest, so they had to come in those they had to come in the village. And if anybody give them some sufficient food, then they will get satisfied. So these types of incident always happen. Um, so i that's why I like to zoo, means I these types of incident always happen. And that's why I like zoo, means this zoo is more safety place for all animals. At least they can stay safe, means anybody will not harm them, anybody cannot harm them, because there are told that there are lots of people who always take care of these animals. And when in fact when they fall sick, when they have, if they have any fever, sometimes these animals cannot, mm, some animals cannot express their sickness. So that's why there are some doctors who check up the all animals every month or every week. And they get lots of care from everyone. And they can make their family also. So this place is really very safety place than forest. If whenever animals stay in the forest, then it's okay, but there are some people who can harm them. But if they stay in the zoo, then if anybody want to harm them, then anybody cannot harm them, means they stay in a circle, safe circle. And this zoo is really very good, because if I want to see if I want to see tiger in front of me, by my own eye, in front of me, if I want to see tiger, then I can see it in the zoo. But if I want to see tiger in the forest in front of me, then it's not possible. If I go to any forest like Sundarban, if I go to the Sundarban, then I can see tiger, but I have to see the tiger to stay far from the tiger. I see the tiger to stay in a height place where the tiger cannot see me, cannot feel me. The tiger can feel the smell of human. I know it means they can get smell. So that's why. And they can swim, they know how to swim. So that's why if I go to the Sundarban to see any tiger, then I have to stay in height place where I can see the tiger, but that tiger cannot see me. But if I want to see tiger in the zoo, then I can see it in front of me. it Yes, there is some distance of some distance, but I can see it. So that's why this zoo is most safety place than every forest. And uh, and every animal has their own territory. If any any unknown animal come in their territory, then they mm, try to remove them, means then they try to chase them, means then they did then they do quarrel with this animal. And sometimes they fall in problems. They then some animals also lost their life. And I think every animal is really very positive about their territory. They don't want to allow any unknown animal in their territory. So in this time they in this time some animals also have some risk. Some animals has some risk of life. So when they stay in the zoo, when they are staying in the zoo, then they don't have this fairness also, because they already get their own territory, their own border. So they can stay safely. They don't need to quarrel with any animal. And any pupil, any animal, anybody will not come in their territory. And they can stay really very happily with their family. And not just animal, there are some plays of bird. There are some lots of bird, like peacock. Then and they also has their own cage, own territory. And anybody cannot come in their territory. And they can stay safely. But bird, you cannot capture a bird in a cage. They always want to fly in the sky. But sometime but to save them from extinct, eh, everybody have to keep them, everybody have to put them in the cage. They can stay safely, but yes, they cannot fly as their wish. They cannot they cannot fly in the sky for a long time. Have to they has to fly in a boundary. But still it's also really very safe place than everything. And and trees, there is also some place of trees, means there is different species of trees. There is different species. And the trees, there are some trees which flower trees, beautiful flower trees. And means every area you will get lots of trees. There are no restrictions, means there are no proper place of trees. Everywhere you can see trees, beautiful flower trees. But you cannot pick any flower, or you cannot pick any leaf of tree, means it's really very restricted area. Means you can capture picture, you can see, but you cannot touch. If you want, then you can touch, but you cannot pick any flower from it. So uh, so that's why I like zoo. Zoo is more safe place than forest. And if anybody go to the zoo, then especially I told before that for kids this place is really very well placed for kids. They can enjoy to go there. They can see lots of animals. They can enjoy with their family members. They can enjoy with to see all animals. And there is some place of snake. There's different types of snake. And you cannot see all snake properly, means they stay in every leaf, or they stay in the cage. So sometime anybody cannot see it properly. When I went to the zoo, then I could never see any snake. Once I means it's really very impossible where they stay. Anybody don't know. You have to find where is the snake. Um, and and when the color of snake is green, then it's really very it get very impossible to find it. Once I went to the zoo, and I was finding the snake. I was And everybody was cramming to see the snake, but I could not see the snake, and I got really very confused that where is the snake, why everybody is cramming. Then after that, when I knew that the color of snake is green, and when my father show me means when my father show me properly, then it was in a leaf, and the leaf color is green, and the snake color, sorry, the leaf color was green, and the snake color was green. So that's why I could not see it properly, means I could not find it. At last I could see, could not at first I could not find it. And so sometime it got confusing. And everybody like to go there during winter season, because during winter season you can see animal outside, means they came out they came outside from the cage, for getting sunshine. um, but if you go to the summer season, then you can see, but it's depend in your luck, means they don't come out, because for this heavy sunshine, they don't need to take sunshine during the summer season. So that's why sometimes they don't want to come outside during summer season. So winter season it's really appropriate season for going to the zoo. This time you can see, they sometimes they come out, yes, they sometimes they come outside for drinking water. and and otherwise they stay in the cage. They like to stay in the cage. But during winter season, sometimes they come out and stay in the sunshine for some time, and it's depend on their mood. When they want to take sunshine, then they will stay, otherwise they will go to return in their cage again. So this zoo is really very good place, well placed for every animal, every birds, everyone.